Steam is going absolutely wild again with discounts, huge story-driven games, classic action titles, underrated gems, stealth games, and even a couple of games you can permanently add to your library for zero cost right now. And these aren't random filler games nobody cares about. These are actually solid picks that are genuinely worth your time, especially at prices like these. So today I've put together another fresh list of the best Steam deals you really don't want to miss, including some massive 90% discounts and a few limited time offers that are honestly too good to ignore. So let's jump straight into it, starting with the 100% discounts, because these are the kinds of deals you really don't want to ignore. Winexy is completely free to claim until June 5th, and once you grab it, it stays in your library permanently. This one is a smaller indie experience with a more unusual vibe, and honestly, these are exactly the kinds of games that are worth grabbing while they cost absolutely nothing. Even if you're not planning to play it immediately, adding it to your library now means you can always check it out later without spending anything. And next, Gravity Circuit is also completely free to claim until June 14th, and this one is honestly a really solid pickup if you enjoy retro-style action platformers. It takes a lot of inspiration from classic games like Mega Man with fast movement, satisfying combat, and boss fights that actually feel rewarding to overcome. The pixel art looks fantastic, the gameplay feels responsive, and if you enjoy old-school action games with modern polish, this is absolutely worth claiming while you can. Up next, Alan Wake at 90% off, and this is still one of the best psychological thriller games you can play. The atmosphere here is honestly incredible, with dark forests, small town mystery vibes, and a story that slowly pulls you deeper the longer you play. Combat revolves around using light to weaken enemies before taking them down, which gives fights a really unique feel. But what really makes Alan Wake special is the storytelling. It feels more like playing through a dark mystery series than a typical action game, and if you somehow missed it before, this is an easy recommendation at this price. And right after that, Control also at 90% off, and if you've never played it, this is one of the coolest action games from the last few years. You're exploring a massive government building filled with strange, supernatural events, reality-breaking moments, and some genuinely memorable visuals. Combat feels amazing because you're not just shooting enemies, you're throwing objects, flying through rooms, and using telekinetic powers to completely destroy environments. It's stylish, weird, and honestly one of those games that feels way more expensive than what you're paying at a 90% discount. And next, Vampyr at 90% off, and this is one of the more underrated RPGs you can grab right now. You play as a doctor who suddenly becomes a vampire, and the game constantly forces you to make difficult choices. Do you protect people or feed on them to become stronger? Every decision affects different districts of the city, which makes the world feel surprisingly reactive. The atmosphere is dark, the setting is really unique, and if you enjoy story-driven RPGs with meaningful choices, this is definitely worth checking out. Before we get into the video, I want to share a tool that will definitely save you money on Steam games. It is called Kraken Keys. If you are tired of overpaying or spending hours hunting for deals, Kraken Keys is a completely free game price comparison platform built specifically for Steam. It automatically scans over 20 legitimate stores, including places like Fanatical and CDKs, to instantly find you the cheapest price available. The best part is that there are absolutely no ads, no cluttered interface, and you do not even need to create an account. You just search for a game and you immediately see the cheapest price. It is incredibly fast and clean. You can easily compare the standard Steam store price against other platforms to see exactly how much you are saving. You even have the option to toggle specific shops on or off, and you can set up custom price alerts so you get notified the second a game drops to your target price. Also, you definitely have to check out their Steam library and wishlist calculators. You just paste your Steam profile URL and it instantly calculates the total value of your library, or shows you exactly how much your entire wishlist would cost at the absolute cheapest prices available across all those stores. Kraken Keys is completely free to use. Start saving money on your games right now by clicking the link in the description below. And next, Inside and Limbo both at 90% off, and these are honestly some of the best indie games you can get at this price. They're both puzzle platformers, but what makes them so memorable is the atmosphere and storytelling. Neither game explains much directly, instead everything is told through visuals, sound, and the world around you. Limbo feels darker and more mysterious, with a constant feeling that something dangerous is always nearby, while Inside builds on that formula with more cinematic moments, smarter puzzles, and a story that becomes more unsettling the further you go. They're not super long games, but they're the kind of experiences you end up thinking about long after finishing them. Up next, Hitman Blood Money at 90% off, and this is still considered by a lot of people people to be one of the best Hitman games ever made. Instead of forcing you down one path, the game gives you complete freedom in how you approach each mission. You can go in quietly, disguise yourself, set traps, make accidents happen, or just improvise when everything goes wrong. That freedom is what makes it so replayable, because every mission can play out completely differently depending on how creative you want to be. Even years later, it still holds up incredibly well. And next, Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition at 90% off, and this game is basically pure chaos in the best possible way. It's an over-the-top shooter that rewards you for being creative during combat. Instead of just eliminating enemies normally, the game constantly pushes you to pull off ridiculous combos, environmental kills, and crazy attacks to score more points. The pacing is fast, the action never really slows down, and it has that old school shooter energy that feels refreshing compared to a lot of modern games. Up next, Soulstice at 90% off, and if you enjoy stylish action games like Devil May Cry, this one is definitely worth a look. Combat feels fast and flashy with a big focus on combos, timing, and learning how to control different abilities together. The world itself has a dark fantasy style that looks really cool, and while it may have flown under the radar for a lot of people, it's one of those games that can really surprise you if you enjoy action-heavy gameplay. And next, Just Cause 2 at 90% off, and honestly, this game is still ridiculously fun even after all these years. The whole point here is freedom and complete chaos. You've got a giant open world, a grappling hook, parachutes, explosions everywhere, and basically unlimited ways to mess around. Want to attach enemies to vehicles? Go for it. Want to launch yourself into complete nonsense just to see what happens? The game fully supports that energy. It's one of those sandbox games where you can spend hours just causing destruction and somehow never get bored. And finally, I saved something really good for the end, because right now you can grab Tell Me Why at 100% off until July 1st, and once you claim it, it stays in your library permanently. And honestly, this is not just one of those random giveaway games. Tell Me Why is a story-driven adventure from the creators of Life is Strange, with a strong focus on choices, characters, and emotional storytelling. The story follows twins reconnecting after years apart while uncovering secrets from their past, and the way your decisions shape conversations and moments actually makes it feel personal. If you enjoy narrative-focused games with a strong atmosphere and meaningful choices, this is absolutely worth claiming while it costs nothing. And one more thing before we finish, you can also jump into Marathon with friends until June 9th for a limited time. If you enjoy multiplayer shooters with a co-op feel and just want something new to try without immediately buying it, this is a great chance to see if it clicks for you, especially if you've got a couple of friends looking for something new to play together. Also, thank you all so much for the support, for the likes, the comments, and especially the subscriptions. Seeing the channel keep growing is honestly crazy, and I really appreciate every single one of you. And before you go, make sure to check out my previous video where I covered 7 actually good free Steam games that came out in 2026. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.